Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm looking at a new product from Lochby, and I'm not sure if it's going to be launched by the time this video goes out or just after, but keep an eye out on the Lochby website and I'll link to it down below. Also remember, if you use my code, you can get a little discount on Lochby. The product we're looking at today is this. This is the Duo, which is a 2-pen case. Now, for a long time, I've been using this. This is the Quattro. This is the redesigned version that I have had for, quite a while now. As you can see, I've been using it a lot. This is just like from pocket wear and going into bags and, all that kind of stuff. It's faded. It's looking a little loved, and that's because it is. I've traveled with this internationally. I've done everything, and I've absolutely loved this. And they've come out with the V2, which has a nice super plush interior and the lovely sort of yellow interior to the nautical. It's just very cool. I like it a lot. It's got the same sort of standard sort of features as you would see on the redesigned version. A couple of little differences I'll quickly show you here. Firstly, because the zip doesn't go down in, you've got another sort of small slot there. You lose the slot over here. The pockets still sort of intertwine as opposed to banging on each other. Super plush interior. It's really nice. And then if we look at the exterior, once again, we've still got, no, we're not quite in the camera, but we've still got those pockets on the outside as well. Just we've lost the Velcro on that one, which I think is a big plus because the Velcro kind of gets in the way. And I've never used it, so yeah, but I've loved this case. Now, what we're talking about today, though, is the Duo. So let's open this up. So firstly, I'll say this is the nautical version. It also comes in the brown, the bumblebee, and soon the olive, which looks very sharp. Beautiful olive green with the brown trim. Now, you open it up flat. You've got one big pocket on the back there. So when that's closed up, you've got room for like a pen or something, small, maybe if you're one of these, if you carry like a tool or something, that might be a great spot for it, or extra pens if you want things on the go. The zip runs all the way around, closes up very nicely, very securely. Got nice simple branding on the outside. You can see, because I've been using this one already for the last couple of weeks, or now, gosh, almost a month. It's already starting to change, sort of fade and things, because I've traveled with this extensively. This came to Japan with me. It's come on, to work with me, all that kind of thing. When we open it up, you get that standard ripstop nylon on the inside, which has a little flap turned down, beautiful plush interior, so your pens are going to be really well looked after. That little flap down makes it really nice if you have sort of smaller pens that sort of fit down into there. But this is going to really protect your pens. The fact that the inside is lined as well as the back, everything is very smooth. The way the case zips up, if you could see, like, I'll show when I've got pens in it, because I'll do a fill of it as well. But the pens, once again, they don't bang against each other. They kind of fold in next to each other, which is a really nice feature. It's all double sewn on the seams and hems, so it's all very, very strong and rugged, and that does add a nice level of sort of support to the case so that you feel like your pens are protected. And this beautiful waxed canvas on the outside both provides good sort of impact protection, but also some weather resistance. As you would expect from Lochby, just trying to get it visible there, these are YKK zips. So, nice good quality materials and good quality components go into a nice simple design. Like, yes, it's just a simple 2-pen case, but the details have made a difference here, and it's the details that matter, and Lochby get the details right so often. So that is the basics of it. Nice wax canvas, soft velvet liner, offset pens. Dimensions wise, it's about 7 inches by 2.5 inches by 1 inch. That will depend a little bit on what you carry in it, which is roughly 18 by 6.5 by 2.5 centimeters, and it weighs 42 grams empty. Once again, the more you load it up, the more it's going to weigh. Now, while it is designed for like what I consider 2.5 pens, you can actually fit, I've carried up to 5 pens in here, one loose. I haven't carried anything in this center slot, but it would be great for like a small pen, something like perhaps, a Caran d'Ache 849 or something along those kinds of lines. But in terms of, I mainly carry my fountain pens in here, and I've been able to fit 2 in each of those, and then one sort of floating in the case without sort of too much of an issue. It's really, really nice. The price point on this, however, is $29 US or 45 Australian. So it's not inexpensive, but it is great materials, great build, lovely simple design, and it does the job you're asking it to do. Just for the sake of the record, the Quattro V2 here retails for about 61 Australian. So that's the details of it. Let's do a fill, and then I'll talk about my few little pros and cons. So I have a range of pens here that we're going to put in this case. The first is a big pen. This is the Asvine C2000. Now, if I hold this up alongside a Lamy Safari, you can see it's a big pen. Now this is about as big as I would want to put in here. Once you start sort of making contact with the zips, you are taking, chances on the pen getting hitting on the zips and things like that. Put a Lamy Safari in here. Now, you can get the clips over. I don't generally tend to put the clips over. I tend to tuck the clips in, which is nice. So 2 pens in there, very comfortable. Lots of space in the front if you wanted to put a pen or something sort of down in there too. Same on the back. But let's concentrate on the internal capacity of this. So as I said, I've been carrying more pens, and if I show you, here's a Hongdian C1. Which is a nice sort of one of my favorite sort of affordable pens. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that to show up there, but yeah. I can fit that alongside that large Asvine pen in there. No issues whatsoever. And for the sake of the exercise, here's a Pelikan M1000, the largest of the Souverain range, and that fits alongside that Lamy Safari very comfortably. And as you can see, still able to get that zip up, and that's with 4 pens in here. Now, obviously, the thing to take into account with this, which is where something like the Quattro is a really, really good option, is the fact that these pens are now touching. So if you've got expensive pens, like yes, this Pelikan is not an inexpensive pen. If you've got expensive pens with, sharp clips or whatever, you might not want them touching. So if you're just carrying 2 pens very cleanly, absolutely perfect. If they're pens like Safaris or the Hongdians and things like that you don't mind making contact, not a bad option. Now, as I said, I have carried more pens in here. So I'm going to take my Diplomat Traveller here. I'm going to tuck that down in there, and then we can just float a Safari in the middle there. And I can still do that up. In fact, I would be able to also probably fit my Parker 25 in there as well, and still get that just about. A little bit extra work, but I could get that zipped up with 6 pens in there. I wouldn't carry it like that. That's a bit more than I would normally carry. Primarily, I've been carrying 2 or 3 pens in here. So this kind of setup would be something I would do. Now, what I wanted to show you with the pens not making contact is that when it closes, you can see that the way the pockets are cut in, I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick that up entirely well, but the way the pockets are cut in is that they sit next to each other like that, not naturally against each other like that. So it's just a nice little feature of these Lochby cases, the offset pen sort of positions that make this a really, really interesting carry option. So you saw I could pack it out. You saw the kind of pens I'm carrying, the sizes of pens. Like I said, something like a Caran d'Ache 849 or a Lilliput would be great down in there. Little pens like that. What have I got here? I've got a Kaweco Sport. Let's see if we can get that down in there. So the Kaweco Sport is probably about as wide as you'd want to try and fit in there, but it does fit quite comfortably. And, easy zip up, all that kind of thing. It's good. So, that's a nice simple carry. The Duo becomes a Trio, a Quattro. As I said, I put 6 pens in here before and could still get it done up. Different sizes, but, some pretty big. So what are the pros and cons? So obviously any pen case, and this isn't this one in particular, it's any pen case, is going to be limited in capacity. So that is a con that will come to your choices. How many pens do you want to carry? What size pens do you want to carry? Like this Asvine C2000 is about as big as I want to put in here, but also any pen that, it's a plastic zip, so it's less of a concern. But if you get a longer pen than this, it will be making contact with those zips. So just take that into account. So it's the size of this that's going to be the only real concern. If that's the problem, get the Quattro. Look at some of the other carry options from Lochby. The zip is one of the other things, of course, being the fact that it will make contact on the top here. You see that I'm sort of making contact with the zip there. Maybe hold that back as you put them in and take them out if that's a concern for you as well. But it's not so much for concern here with these sort of plastic zippers. The only other thing I would say is that it is a soft carry case. Like, it's not a hard leather, like the Magnum Opus from Galen Leather or something like that. It is a soft waxed canvas carry, so just keep that in mind. But there are so many pros. Firstly, I'm going to put price between the pros and cons. I don't think it's an exorbitant amount of money for a well-made product that does its job. But I also understand that there are options for this kind of carry that are considerably less. So if this is within your means, as I said, you can get a discount using my code below. Keep that in mind. It is 45 Australian or $29 for this case. Now, the pros, it can hold more than just the 2 pens. As you saw, I put up to 6 in here. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but 3 or 4, more than possible. I also really, really like the lining material, and that goes for both of the linings. The plush lining of where the pens make contact, and then the ripstop nylon of the rest of the case. These are really rugged materials, particularly this ripstop nylon with its beautiful sort of honeycomb patterning there. They've taken great care in selecting the materials, including the wax canvas on the back. It's rugged, it's resilient, it's got some water resistance, and it will also protect everything that's in there. And then the other thing I love about Lochby, and this is across the board with Lochby, the build quality. All the sewing is really nicely done. It's well constructed. The fact that all these seams are, sort of covered and then double sewn gives them a strength that goes beyond just staying together. As I said, it gives some extra padding on the cases and anything you're carrying. Even having that extra pocket on the outside here gives extra protection, but it's all beautifully done. Look at all the edges are nicely done. All the sewing is done well using great YKK zips, nice pull tabs, all those kinds of things. Well made, well constructed, well designed, and just beautiful product as you would expect. Simple, clean, utilitarian perhaps, but does the job beautifully and does exactly what it's designed for. So this was the Lochby Duo, a new product here in, November 2025. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. Please like, subscribe, hit the notifications button, all that kind of stuff. A big thank you to Lochby for supporting my channel and providing this and a range of other products over the years for me to show you. I've got another one coming up very soon, which I'm excited about. I was able to have this for a month or so before the launch, so I was able to really use it and experience it and enjoy it, and I'm definitely going to continue that because it's a great size, small, convenient, beautifully made, does the job. So if you've got a way you'd like to support my channel, I'd love to hear from you. But in the meantime, enjoy your items, be they pens, paper, ink, or all the associated accessories, and I'll talk to you soon.